This week on the Flying Marmot, songs of standing stones and a sticky cinnamon surprise.
Hey, Marmoteers. So, new album out, Standing Stones by Marion Call. There will be a link in the doobly-doo to the Bandcamp. It is a 5-star album. I will give you some pale imitations. They will not be as good. Go, check it out. Check it out! So I'll do a little bit of a song-by-song rundown with some snippets. Spare me just a second to be sincere for old time's sake. It seems the stakes are high. Well, when your first track starts right in the womb, that's Bones. Yeah, that's an interesting place to start. Only other album I can think of that has a song that goes from the womb would be Stan Rogers' Delivery Delayed. And I guess that ends the album. Very different approach. Let's write ourselves a story, 'cause the writers make the rules. We'll need a starship and a cutlass and a key. Paper. And this one's all the boundless creativity. Hey, I've found I can make things. I can do anything. I am all powerful. Maybe a little more childish innocence and a little less maniacal laughter. But otherwise, the sentiment is the same. Tell everybody else we knew. Started on the journey too. And we were not phenomenal. Number 3, Oregon Trail. And other than, making everyone of a certain age have a little chuckle, it's actually sort of the next step in the creative process. I can do everything! Wait, everyone else has already done everything. What I do? But I am here, it's all that I can know. I'll sing it, spell it, smash it, hell, it's what my soul is for. So Standing Stones, 4th track, title track, that's where we decide, hey, what's the difference between nihilism and existentialism? It's realizing that it's all worthless and nothing's going to matter in the long run and going out and doing it friggin' anyway. I don't know how to move on, but this airplane does. You run real fast with your nose up and jump. Next comes Hope, which, despite being called Hope, is a little bit of a downer in places. Shall we say there's a lot of tension in this song. It's simultaneously a song about trying to move on, and yet constantly refrain, and hope is her anchor. Well, anchors and moving on, that's going to be a little difficult. So use these icons for your feelings, though, that I can more precisely empathize. So engagement's optimized. Track 6, Like This. Well, this is definitely the internet song. It's all about finding that way to optimize your experience, get that perfect shot on Snapchat, define your life by how you present yourself. So, really upbeat and happy sounding, but then the lyrics maybe not so much. And it was fit for a princess, it was fit for a princess, he spared no expense. Oh, it was fit for a princess, or fit for a prince's investment. Oh. Speaking of the internet, the next one is very excitingly titled Mediocre Algorithmic First Date, which is largely about trying to fill someone else's expectations and how that's not always the most fun thing to do. The frontier lives on in the dreams of certain men, all thinking themselves heroes, all wide-eyed to defend their right to never build a village square, the right to never lay a brick for someone else's sake. We have Independence, which is thematically my favorite on the entire album. Independence is a myth, but loneliness is real. The core of it is that you can't do anything on your own. Sorry, buddy, you're not self-made. No one is self-made. Nothing is self-made. You're part of a system. Others have come before you. Others will come after you. Others are all around you making your life the way it is possible. So maybe notice that and maybe try to pitch in. So our suffering wrote us a song. So our bravery broke all our bones. So the sunset is killer tonight. The light laughs as it leaves us alone. Track 9, Vespers.
New Marmot vocabulary word.
Evening prayer, and it's also, it's a song about living through. It's got definitely a bit of a drinking song vibe in a lot of places. It's about sort of looking back, wistful lessons at the end of the day. You cannot intimidate me, fear is my old friend. We dated for a while, she still calls me now and then. Track 10, The Devil, about meeting with your own sins, I guess, your past, your scars, how they define you, make you stronger. Good song. 'Cause beggar, banker, king, and pawn, we're only bones with stories on. And the final track, still not sure if there's meaning to an album that invokes the 12 ages of man multiple times and has 11 tracks, especially after talking about tearing all your idols down. But anyway, so, Grandpa had it right. Very nice, sort of sums up the whole theme of the album, I guess, in the bit that I sung for you. And, yeah. Beautiful song again. What can I say? Really like the album. Probably should sit down and write essays instead of doing off the cuff to my camera if I want to really analyze this, but I am apparently out of my academic mode. So there you have it. Once again, you want to get this album. It's a good album. You like it. Link in the doobly-doo. Fresh from the oven and looking good. Bread is just full of life lessons, Marmoteers. For instance, while a no-knead bread bakes very nicely at 450, if you do that with what you thought was going to be some sticky buns, what you're going to end up with is candied bread, as that high temperature easily cooked my brown sugar and butter into a nice crunchy caramel. Crunchy candied buns. It's still pretty tasty, but I'm going to say 3.5, 4 stars. We're going to have to work on that next time.
Next week on the Flying Marmot, less singing, more Scotch yolks.